everyone, welcome. My name is Salay and I'm a doctor of physical therapy and a yoga instructor. And today I'm going to take you through a beginner-friendly yoga class. Please remember that all these poses should feel good on your body. There should be no pain. If there's pain, hold off on that pose. If a pose is just not right for you because of an injury or a specific condition you have, hold off on that pose. And you could always just sit here in easy pose, so like a cross-leg position, and then join back in when you're ready. For our practice today, we're going to start sitting in an easy pose right here on the ground. So easy pose is basically sitting in a cross-leg position. So whatever feels comfortable for you, whichever foot feels better in front, go ahead and sit there. Option to use a yoga block or a cushion, and you can place it underneath your hips to lift you up a little higher. And that might make this position more comfortable. Okay, so for everyone, you want to be sitting up nice and tall through the spine. So the spine is nice and straight. Place the backs of the hands on your thighs, close your eyes, and just connect with your breath and just arrive in the present moment for practice. Allowing the breath to flow in and out through the nose. And we're going to take 3 belly breaths together here. So you're going to take a nice deep inhale, fill the belly with air. And exhale, let the belly fall back in. Inhale, belly fills with air. Exhale, belly falls. One more. Inhale through the abdomen, expand through the belly. Exhale, let the abdomen fall back in. And then allow your breath to return to a comfortable pace, moving steady in and out through the nose. If your eyes were closed, you can blink them open now. If you're propped up onto a cushion or block, you can keep it or remove it, up to you. We're just going to move through some poses here in sitting. So to start, we're going to move through cat-cow in sitting. You're going to place your hands on your shins. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together, open through the chest, maybe look up just a little bit. This is cow pose. Then come back through neutral or round the spine, drop the head for cat, your choice. Come back through cow, shoulder blades squeeze together, open through the chest, the heart space. Come back through neutral, pausing here, or rounding back for cat. One more, come up through cow pose, open through the chest. And either back to neutral or back through cat. And then everyone come back through cow pose one more time, squeezing the shoulder blades back. And everyone come back to neutral, pause here, so straight spine. Reach your arms up overhead, look up toward your hands. Drop the left arm down toward the right knee, right arm behind you, taking a little twist to the right. Very gently, and think about keeping the spine nice and straight. So the spine is tall and then you twist. But this is early in our practice, so we're not really cranking into it right now. It's just a gentle twist. Breathe. Come back through center arms, reach up overhead, and then twisting to the left. Right arm to left knee, left arm behind you. Keep the breath steady. That's important through our practice. Always keep the breath steady. Come back through center, arms reach overhead. Drop the right arm down, left arm reaches up, and you're gonna bend toward the right. Keep the right shoulder down away from your ears. Extend through the left arm, extend through the left fingertips. Okay, so in this pose, we are stretching the side body, but I don't want you to collapse down. So you're still lifted high. This is still active. One more breath here. And then switch sides. Left arm drops down, right arm comes overhead, side bend to the left. Keep the left shoulder down away from your ears, extend through the right fingertips. And even thinking about pulling down through the right hip will give you more of a stretch in the right side body. One more breath. Come back through center. From here, you're gonna meet me on all fours, so on your hands and knees. Okay, so on your hands and knees, you wanna make sure your hands are directly under your shoulders, your knees are directly under your hips. Start with the back flat, so a nice straight spine, and we're gonna move through cat-cows here, kind of like we did in sitting, but now on all fours. So for cow, you're gonna drop your belly down, look up, so you get this nice arch through your back. And then you could either come through neutral, so stopping in flat back if that's better for you, or you could round into cat. So for cat, you would round through the upper spine, allow the head to drop down, and that's cat pose. Everyone come back through cow, drop the belly down, look up, relax through the sit bones, and then come back through neutral or rounding into cat. Keep the breath steady. Drop the belly down, come through cow again. Hold here and breathe. And then come back through flat back. And we're gonna move into downward dog. So for downward dog, you're gonna tuck your toes underneath you, lift the knees up off the mat, press yourself back. So you lift the knees up, press the hips up to the sky. The heels are gonna drop down toward the ground, pressing through the hands, keeping the arms nice and straight. So everyone keep a nice deep bend in your knees here. So the knees are bent, heels are grounding down. Press between the index finger and thumb to keep the arms nice and straight, and your goal is to get your hips up to the sky. The spine should be flat, and you breathe and hold here. Okay? Keeping the knees bent will help to keep the hips up to the sky and keep the spine nice and flat. So you don't want to be rounding through the spine, you want that nice flat spine. Hold here 3 more breaths. And your heels don't have to reach the ground, that's just the direction you're thinking about moving them in. From here, start to walk your feet up toward your hands. So you're walking your feet up toward your hands at the top of the mat. Once they're there, you're going to roll yourself up nice and slow, coming up to standing. So rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time, nice and slowly. Head and neck come up last. Moving into mountain pose, Tadasana. You can keep your feet hip width apart, or you can draw the feet together, your choice. Hands are down at your sides. Have a slight bend in both of your knees. Allow your tailbone to drop down a little bit. The spine is straight, shoulders relax down away from your ears, crown of the head tall to the sky, palms facing forward, and just breathing into this alignment here. This is mountain pose. It's a really great grounding posture. Stay connected with your breath. We're gonna hold here for 2 more breaths. Good. From here, place your hands on your hips. You're gonna step your left foot back, and you want your back foot to be at about a 45-degree angle. So your back heel is down, back knee is nice and straight. You're gonna bend into the front knee, into your warrior 1. So for warrior 1, you want your hips squaring forward. You want to make sure your front knee is in line with your front ankle. Okay, so you could take just a really small stance and do a tiny little bend in your knee. Okay, so something like this. Or if you want a wider stance, you could step back further, and then you could get a deeper bend in the front knee. Bring the hands into prayer at your heart. We're gonna hold here and breathe. Think about that right hip pulling back in space to square you forward. And then start to reach the arms up to the sky. 2 more breaths. Hands come back into prayer. We're going to move to warrior 2. So you're going to scoot the back foot back further. So heel toe the back foot back. The foot is at more of a perpendicular angle now. Bend into the front knee. So you're going to be in a little bit of a deeper stance. So for warrior 2, your hips are open to the side of the mat. The arms reach up, gaze is over front fingertips, and this is warrior 2. Again, the depth might be different depending on where you're at. So if you want to take a more shallow stance, you just won't have as deep of a bend in the front knee. Okay? You want to make sure that front knee stays in line with the front ankle. So don't let it fall in. Keep pulling the knee back. So like you're pulling it out to the right, and make sure it's not driving over your toes. Breathe and hold 2 more breaths. Hands come back to the hips. Heel toe the back foot in a little bit more. Step yourself back up to the top of the mat, and we'll switch sides. So now you know where you're going. So the right foot steps back for warrior 1. Back foot's at a 45-degree angle, heel down, back knee nice and straight, bend into the front knee. Keep squaring the hips forward so the left hip pulls back in space. Find what depth feels good for you. Breathe. Hands come to prayer. Feeling the alignment of this pose. And then reach the arms up, and we hold for 2 breaths. Hands come back through prayer. Open out to warrior 2. So you're going to heel toe the back foot out a little bit further. Bend maybe a little deeper into the front knee. Arms come up. Gaze is over the front fingertips. So for warrior 2, your hips are open to the side of the mat. Make sure that front knee is right in line with the ankle. We hold for 2 breaths. Hands come back to the hips. Heel toe the back foot in a little bit, and then step yourself back up to the top of your mat. We're going to make our way back down. So reach your arms overhead, look up, fold forward over your legs into a forward fold. You're going to take a step back in to plank. So you take a big step back with one foot, a big step back with the other foot, drop the knees down, and you're going to be in your modified plank here. So you're on the knees, pull the abs up and in, and it's like you're in this modified push-up position. Keep a slight little bend in your elbows and keep the breath steady. Do not hold your breath. The spine is straight. Don't let the spine fall down. Don't round too much. You want a nice straight spine. You could also tuck the toes under and come up into full plank if that feels like you're ready for that. Okay, same rules apply, keeping the spine nice and straight, abs pull up and in, and keep the breath steady. And then from here, lower yourself down to the mat so you can move through a push-up. Lower yourself all the way down to the ground. From here, moving to low cobra. You're going to have your hands underneath your shoulders. Your legs are relaxed, so keep the lower body relaxed. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, so squeeze the shoulder blades down and back. Use the muscles of your back to lift the chest up, so your hands are just place marks, we'll call them. So you're not really pressing into the hands. You could lift them up and you would still be lifted here. Hold this pose and breathe. Keep your neck in neutral. Keep the breath steady. And then relax down, one hand on top of the other. Rest the forehead on the hands. And then from here, you're gonna prop up into Sphinx pose. So you prop up onto the forearms this time. So this time you're using the arms. Press through the elbows, palms are facing down. Let the lower body stay relaxed. Your gaze is forward, and breathe and hold here. Really let the lower body stay relaxed. We're gonna hold here for 3 more breaths. Slowly relax yourself down, one hand on top of the other, rest the forehead on the hands. Settle in, feel the effects of the pose. From here, place the hands under your shoulders, press yourself back like you're moving back through all fours. You're gonna have your toes together and bring the knees out wide. Sit your hips back into a wide leg child's pose. So the hips sit back, the forehead goes down to the ground, arms reach out in front, and breathe here. So really let the forehead relax down on the ground and just let go here. Stay connected with your breath. Let the hips relax. And we're gonna hold here for 5 full rounds of breath. And then start to walk yourself back up to all fours. Cross your feet behind you. Sit back, so you're sitting back into sitting. And then go ahead and make your way to lay down onto your back. Next, we'll move into a stretch for our glutes. Both knees are bent, feet are planted on the ground. Upper body's relaxed down. Cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh, and you're in this figure 4 position. So you could stay here. So you're thinking about pushing the left knee toward the bottom of the mat, and this might be enough of a stretch for you. So if this feels like enough, you could stay here. If you want a deeper stretch, you're gonna hold underneath the right thigh and you pull the legs in toward you to deepen the stretch in the left hip. Some things to think about though, you want to make sure your upper body stays relaxed on the ground. So if you have to lift up to hold your leg, stick with the first variation. You also want to make sure your low back is staying relaxed on the ground. And just breathe here. And again, feel free to take the first option if that's better for you. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. And you should feel the stretch in the left outer hip, the left glute area. Slowly start to come out of the pose. So if you have the legs up, bring them back down. Everyone place the left foot back down on the ground and we'll switch sides. So the right ankle crosses on top of the left thigh. Thinking about pushing the right knee toward the back of the mat. This might be enough for you, so stay here if this feels like enough of a stretch, or option to hold underneath the left thigh, pulling the hips in a little deeper. Again, make sure the upper torso and the head stay relaxed on the ground. You should feel this stretch in the outside of the right hip, in the right glute area. Breathe into it. It should feel good. And we're going to hold for 5 breaths. Everyone start to come out of the pose. If the legs are up, bring them back down. Plant the right foot on the ground. And we're just going to take a modified version of Happy Baby. So you're going to hold on to the inner ankle. So the left hand hold the left inner ankle, the right hand hold the right inner ankle. The knees go out to the side. Again, like the other pose, so the upper body's on the ground and the head's on the ground. Keep the low back on the ground. Let the knees just fall out to the side and breathe here. So you'll feel a little stretch through the inner thighs. Stay connected with your breath. And we'll hold here for 5 breaths as well. One more breath. Slowly relax the feet back down to the ground. Place your hands down at your sides so your knees are still bent, feet on the ground. Press through your heels and see if you can lift your hips up off the mat into a bridge. Lower yourself back down to the ground. Okay, one more stretch here. So the knees are bent, feet are on the floor. Bring the feet and the legs together. And then you're going to let the knees fall out to the side into what's called bound angle pose. So it's like a butterfly stretch. So the knees fall out to the sides, the soles of the feet are together, and you're going to relax here. If it feels like this is really tight for you, you can also put blocks or pillows underneath the thighs to support them, so it would lift you up a little bit higher. So it would be like if you would want to do this on both sides. I only have one block over here, but you would do this on both sides. So you put a block here that would support your leg higher so it wouldn't have to go as far. You could do the same thing with pillows as well. So go ahead and get into your bound angle pose. Your upper body's relaxed on the ground. And breathe here. You could even tuck your shoulders under you and relax back down to open through the chest. And just settling in, allowing the thighs to be heavy out to the sides, stretching in the inner thighs. We'll hold here for 5 breaths. Slowly transition out of the pose. You could even use the hands to help guide your legs back up so that both feet are planted on the floor, knees are bent. And then you're going to start to straighten your legs out for Savasana. Okay, so our resting pose at the end of practice. Options here. You can just lay on the ground here with no extra support if that feels good for you. If you'd like, you could also take a pillow, put it underneath your knees so that your knees would have a slight bend in them. They would be supported by the pillow. Okay, your choice, whatever feels best for your body. You really want to be comfortable here though. Everyone go ahead and tuck your shoulders underneath you and then relax yourself back down. Your palms are going to be facing up, so the backs of the hands are on the ground. The feet fall out to the sides. Your eyes are going to close and just connect with your breath. And all you need to do in Shavasana is just work to let go. So let everything go, let everything relax through the body. And a nice way to facilitate this relaxation is to scan through the body. So starting at the feet and the ankles, letting all those muscles relax, letting the feet just fall out to the sides. Moving up, letting the calf muscles relax. Letting the hamstrings and the quads relax. All the muscles through the legs relax. Relax through the glutes. Relax through the lower back. Relaxing the abdomen. Relax through the upper back. Relax the entire upper body all the way down to the hands so the arms are heavy on the ground. Relax through the muscles of your neck. And let the crown of the head be heavy on the ground. Feeling into this full body relaxation. Letting everything go here. In Shavasana, we take the time to rest, let go, integrate our practice. So just feeling the effects of all the poses that we did before. And just taking a moment to also let the mind start to quiet down. So we'll relax here for a little longer in Shavasana. And all I want you to focus on is letting go, which sounds easier than it is, I know, but that's what we're working on. I'll guide you out when we're ready. You could start to bring gentle movements back into your body, gently wiggling the fingers and toes. Slowly draw the legs together, reach your arms overhead, extend from your fingertips all the way down to your toes. And then bend through your knees and you're going to roll onto one side. Keep your bottom arm straight out so that you could rest your head on that arm. Taking a moment to rest on your side. And then use your hands to slowly walk yourself back up into a seated position. So back into a cross-leg position like we started in the beginning of our practice. Hands come into prayer at the center of your heart. Eyes are still closed. We're going to close our practice here with one more breath together. So take a nice deep inhale and exhale it out. Return to your comfortable breath. Relax your hands down and go ahead and blink your eyes open back to the world around you. Thank you so much for practicing on the mat here with me today. Namaste. This has to be the coolest diffuser I've seen. The aesthetic of the Makana Volcano diffuser is unmatched. Just look at the way it looks like a volcano as the diffusing is in process. It also has 3 different settings and works great as a nightlight. This diffuser comes with a set of 6 different therapeutic grade essential oils sourced from around the world, including Madagascar, Italy, and India. And all of the essential oils included in this set smell absolutely incredible. To use the diffuser, simply add filtered water and your essential oils of choice. Remember, with your essential oils, a little goes a long way, so all you need is 5 or 6 drops. You could choose an essential oil to diffuse based on scent preference, or you can choose oils for a specific purpose. Lavender for calming, rosemary for an energy boost, or frankincense to connect with your spiritual side. There's also lemongrass, ylang ylang, and bergamot included with your diffuser. If you want to purchase the Makana Volcano diffuser and the set of 6 essential oils, go to ivl.com by clicking the link below. The regular price is $59.95, but when you use the word yoga when checking out, you'll save 50% and get this product for only $29.95. Click the link below to learn more.